Hello, welcome to Biology with Miss Rinky. So let's understand the circulatory system. Now, why is circulatory system called as the circulatory system? Since the word circulation, okay, that means something which is circulating throughout our body, all right? That's why it's called as the circulatory system. Now think about it. What is it? What is it which circulates throughout our body? Which component is it which circulates throughout our body? Well, your answer will be blood, right? Blood is the component which circulates throughout our body. So our circulatory system which is there has three major things. The blood, as we know in humans, is not just circulating like that, okay? It is circulating within the blood vessels. And the third component wherein the blood which is there, all right, comes into the major organ, which is the vital organ, and that's known as the heart. Okay. Now, blood, we are going, today's focus is going to be what exactly is blood and what are the components of blood. Okay, that's what our focus on today's lecture is going to be about. Okay, so blood which is there, okay, blood which is there, wo kya hai? It's a fluid, right? It's a fluid. And so it's a fluid, and that's something which is connecting all the parts of your body. So it's a fluid connective tissue. Now your question will be, how many liters of blood does a human body have? So our body which is there comprises of 5 to 6 liter of blood. And how much of our body weight is blood? Approximate 6 to 8% of your body weight which is there is blood, right? Now your question will be, and it's very simple. When you look at the blood, what is the color of the blood? That's red. Why is it red? We are going to study that. That's because of the pigment hemoglobin, all right? That iron content gives its red color, okay? The another property of blood which is there is that it is going to be heavier than water, right? When you look at the pH of the blood, blood of pH is around 7.345, okay? So that's kind of, you can say, is alkaline, all right? Now, another important thing to note, okay? If I take a blood, okay, and I allow it to undergo centrifugation, okay? So if, for example, this is a test tube, okay? ठीक है, ये टेस्ट ट्यूब है, and in the test tube, okay, if I look at the components of blood, the liquid part, all right, what we have, okay, so, and if you allow it to undergo centrifugation, okay, say at 250 rotations per minute, okay, approximate the centrifugation process. Fine. So what you have, all right, what we have is the liquid part, which is going to be present on the top, okay, that makes up around 55% of the blood, okay, 55% of the blood, and remaining what is there, okay, on the bottom, that's around 45% of the blood, okay. Now, so liquid part on the top, okay, the liquid part on the top, which is there, okay, find the liquid part which is there on the top, okay, that's nothing but what? The plasma. So I'm going to write down here the liquid part on the top, okay, of the centrifugation. What is there? That is plasma, which makes up what? 55% of the blood. Fine. Remaining, what is there, okay? The remaining 45% are nothing but the blood cells, okay? The remaining 45% are nothing but blood cells, okay? And the blood cells which are there, they are going to be present what? At the bottom, okay? At the bottom, what is present, okay? Are the blood cells, which make up 45% of the blood, okay? Now, when it comes to the blood cells, what we have is red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Okay. Now, among the two, that is the plasma and the blood cells, the components which is formed regularly, okay, the component which is formed regularly between the plasma, which is the fluid content, and the cells, which are the blood cells, which are there, the one which is formed regularly are called as what? Formed elements, okay. So, blood cells are called as what? Formed elements. What are they called as? The formed elements, right? Because they are the ones which are formed regularly. Which are the blood components which are formed regularly? That is red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So they are called as the formed elements of the blood. Okay. So now we will continue to be precisely with the liquid part of the blood, that is the plasma. Our focus is going to be the liquid part of the blood, okay, and that is nothing but what? Plasma. Fine. So let's get started and let's understand about the liquid component, that is what? Plasma. So plasma, as you know, is like a hay grass. Okay, you see the dry grass, right? Have you seen the dry grass? How does it appear? It appears what? Pale yellow. So it's basically straw colored. Okay, straw colored means what? It's like hay. Okay, that's what it is, pale yellow. Okay. Now, when we look at the components of plasma, okay, when we look at the components of plasma, remember the major component of plasma is going to be what? Water, okay, which makes up around 92% of the total plasma. The next what we have, okay, the next what we have is nothing but what? The proteins present in it. Those are what? Plasma proteins. What is present are the plasma proteins, okay, which make up 70%, 7% of the whole plasma is made up of what? Plasma proteins, fine. Next, what we have is what? Glucose. Glucose makes up what? 1%. And remaining what is present is mineral, nitrogenous waste, all right, fine, amino acids, various gases, all of them make up the remaining. Now, what is our major focus now? What is our major focus now is what? Plasma proteins. What is it? Is the major component is what? Is the plasma proteins, fine. Now, plasma proteins, which is there, fine. Fibrinogen, fine, plasma proteins. We are going to discuss the first one, which is what is the one of the plasma protein is fibrinogen. What is the component of this plasma protein? Fibrinogen is the one which actually helps, all right, in clotting. Okay, it helps in what? Clotting. Okay, so that's the role of it. Another one which is there, okay, is albumin. Okay, albumin is the one which helps to maintain the concentration of the blood. Okay, it helps to maintain what? The concentration of the blood. So you also call it as what? Osmolarity. Fine. Then the one which third component which is there, okay, the third component which is there is called as what? Heparin. And the heparin which is there is called as what? Anticoagulant. Okay, heparin which is there is called as what? Anticoagulant. Okay, that is what it what exactly does it does that only remember something very peculiar about heparin is that it works only in your blood vessels. What exactly does it do? It prevents the blood from clotting, but only in the blood vessels. Okay, outside if you give heparin, it is not. If you extract heparin and give, that is not going to work. But inside the blood vessels, okay, what does it do? It sees to it that your blood doesn't clot, all right, anywhere in between your blood vessels. So that is the role of heparin. It acts as what? It acts as an anticoagulant. What does it act as? An anticoagulant. And in that, what exactly it means is what? It, okay, prevents blood from clotting only in blood vessels. Okay, only in what? Blood vessels. Okay, prevent it. Okay, basically intravascularly. If intravascularly means it only prevents it from clotting only in what? Inside your blood vessels. Okay. The third, next, another group of protein which is there, the another group of protein which is there is called as prothrombin. And prothrombin again which is there helps in what? Clotting. Okay. Uh, so that's there. Then we have another globulin, okay, another protein which is there, which is called as, so again, all the green ones which are written are, remember, the plasma proteins, okay. There is a globulin, which is again a diverse group of proteins, and there are many types of what globulin proteins, okay, which are there. Proteins, remember, which are there majorly, I'm going to write down a very important point here. Proteins which are there, they help in what? Amphoterism. Proteins which are there, the plasma proteins which are there, they will help in what? Amphoterism. Okay, I'm sure you've heard this word in chemistry. Amphoterism means basically it will be able to react both as base as well as what? Acid. Okay, it acts as what? Buffers. Access what? Buffers. Okay, so basically maintains what? The concentration of blood and able to react as both acid and base. Okay, proteins, as you know, are the large macromolecules. Fine, and these are nothing but the various proteins which are there. So remember globulin which is there, okay, globulin which is there, I've told you the diverse group of proteins. One of them which is there, which is the protein, okay, they basically act as antibodies, okay. They are even a carrier for fat soluble vitamins. They are actually carrier, okay, for your fat soluble vitamins, okay. It's because fat soluble vitamins need some carrier, okay, to carry the vitamins to your various parts of the body, all right. So it acts as a carrier for fat soluble what? Vitamins. Okay, it transports hormones via blood. Okay, transports what? Hormones via blood. Okay, globulin even plays a role in what? Immunity. It has antibodies, so it will help in what? Immunity. Okay, even bilirubin and biliverdin of the liver is transported what? To the kidney. Fine, even hormones which are, they are transported via the blood. Okay, so all of this are nothing but what? The components of blood. Fine, that is water, plasma proteins, glucose, minerals. Okay, and further what we have discussed are the various plasma proteins. Okay, and it's what? function. Fine. So with this, I will end here. In the next video, I will continue with the other components of blood. That is nothing but what the blood cells. Okay, I'm going to discuss about the various blood cells. That is RBC, WBC, and platelets. Fine. Thank you.